Hey, welcome to Love and Liberate. I'm Emily, your host. I'm a self-leadership coach, embodiment teacher, artist, and an activist for love. Now, I don't mean the fluffy kind of love. I'm talking about the real, the raw, confronting kind of love, the kind that cracks you wide open and liberates you, creating a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Because that is what I believe life truly is about. So through personal stories and inspiring, soul-stirring conversations on all things healing, embodiment, and spirituality, I'll help you navigate the good, the bad, and the ugly with tangible tools, fresh perspectives, and of course, a truckload of love. Here's to loving and liberating, one heart at a time. Hey lovers, you're back. Good to have you here. Welcome. I'm gonna speak to something today that I find rather exciting. And I mean that in both positive and a negative way. Because I want to talk about how men and women these days are navigating society. And I know that's broad. Give me a moment here. I have a feeling that women are fighting their way to, I don't know, survive a culture and a society that is inherently misogynist and, not very in tune with the female nature. And by that I mean hormonal, I mean literally physical, like their science is based mostly on men, medicine is based mostly on men. Products even are built mostly for men's bodies. So that's just like the tip of the iceberg. And so how women are navigating that culture versus how men are navigating the culture. Now, before I am gonna elaborate, I want to set a very clear scene, like the backdrop of this episode. It's not about thinking one gender is right or wrong. And it is also not speaking to men and women separately. It's talking about a culture. So when I say culture, I don't mean men, okay? I mean all the systems in charge of the way our society is organized. So let me say that one more time. It is not against men, even though we live in a patriarchy that has idolized masculine energy and masculine ways of going about things. It has nothing to do with men as such. Okay? So I want to have that very clear because none of the things that I feel or even think are around me hating men or thinking that men are in the wrong in general. I think our culture is definitely wrong, the way we organize various things, and I think patriarchy isn't a good shape for anyone because it propagates inequality, it lives on inequality, and that is never going to be the answer for anyone. Even though momentarily it seems cool and it seems fine because you're in power, but as I'm going to explain to you in this podcast, being in power isn't necessarily a good thing when in power means to have power over someone instead of to be in power inside of yourself or to feel empowered in your truth or anything like that. So I'm going to break down having power over someone or being in power. And I'm also going to explain why having power over someone is actually a very detrimental thing to your human muscle. Let's dive in. Okay, so when I say human muscle, that's probably weird. But what I mean by that is the fact that we all are humans and we have to kind of like train being a human. Because, yes, we come into this earth like a pink, cute, soft, oh God, fluffy little baby. But then society happens, culture happens, and all kinds of ideas and beliefs and behaviors are placed upon this very pretty blank slate. I want to say sheet and slate in the same time. Shade, let's say. Which in part is necessary, because if you were to not educate an infant on how to deal with emotions, we would all be running around screaming when we don't have our ways. So it's a good thing. There needs to be some civilization and some, like process of behavioral education, let's say. And all genders are cultured differently. So men are told not to cry, and women are told not to be angry, not to stand up for themselves, to be quiet and smile. And I mean, that's just like a very, very downsized version, and it's a big shortcut, I know, I realize, but just like generally, that's what my generation was taught and previous generations. And so the whole concept of men having to be in charge and being in charge, women needing to be compliant, to be sweet, to be cute, to be easy in some ways, to, you know all the things. I'm not going to name them again. You know all the things. I believe that training the human muscle means to be challenged by life, and therefore having to resource yourself and find ways of working and pushing through boundaries and pushing through limitations that are set in front of you that will give you extra depth and qualities and insights and talents and skills that otherwise you just don't develop. And I feel, and this is a very bold statement, everyone, I feel that men haven't been challenged in those ways that women have been, or people of color, or any minority. We've been challenged to build muscle and to train ourselves and to, fight for our place. That is what builds a human, that is what builds depth, empathy, community, connection, love, all the things that we needed to fight for. They are the things that connected us. They are the things that made us stronger. I'm not saying that I'm grateful for them just yet, because I still feel like it's a horrible fight that I'm continuously fighting. But I feel that in that sense, men have been underdeveloped, and that's what they're feeling right now. They are feeling attacked by women taking their power, standing their ground, and basically using the muscles that they've built for themselves in order to survive in a society that is completely trying to, I don't want to say kill them, because I know that society knows they need us, but kind of like crush their soul, crush their nature, crush their spirit, and not honor them, and not even acknowledge in some ways, like when there's scientific programs running for medicine, and it's only tested on men, not on women, and then women turn out to respond super badly to things, or when science is just completely so focused on men that nothing that actually happening with women is being investigated and researched, then, that's literally not being acknowledged. I mean, the examples are endless. I'm not going to go into them. You've got ChatGPT, just type in how is this society misogynist, and you're going to get probably a life's worth of reading. But that's not the case that I'm trying to make. I want to acknowledge the fact that today it is difficult for men to relate to women and vice versa, because I see so many people, and by people I mean all genders, standing up for themselves, taking up their space, claiming their own experience as a reality, a valid reality that needs to be taken into account by society. It is definitely disturbing the system, as it motherfucking should. Because the system is not working for everyone. And as long as it's not working for everyone, it is not working. And I want to circle back to what I said about being in power versus having power over someone. If you have power over someone, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are in power. It doesn't mean that you have the control and the power that you need to have agency over your own life, over your own field. It just means that you get to control somebody else. And when that is the case, you are not in your equal right of being an equal human. So your right to being, wrong, fallible, or anything is also taken away. Your right to be vulnerable, your right to be carried, your right to be taken care of, your right to not know. I don't know. There are so many rights that you're giving up when you want to be in power over someone, or if you want to have power over someone, sorry. And that is just exactly, again, what is happening today. Men are feeling like they're losing control, and they should. They need to lose control, because being in control has made you so lonely. It's cut you off from your emotions. It's cut you off from maybe your true purpose or your lifelong dream. It's cut you off from the love that you really desire. God, it maybe even cut you off from your sexuality, because how many men out there felt safe being or feeling attracted to men, or to even maybe they felt like a woman, or anything related to femininity or not the ordinary, has been such a pressure, has put such a pressure on men. And so being in control or having power over someone is seemingly a nice position, but actually you are also lacking all the work you have to do as a human to make your way forward. For example, if you're always in the privileged position, you don't know what it's like to have to work for something and to strengthen your skills. And now, what's happening today, we are seeing who are the ones that have been building their human skills, and who are the ones who just were riding their privilege. And as soon as their privilege is taken away, they're just like spoiled little boys being like, give me my toy back. Well, a woman is not a toy, babe. So you're going to have to work for that woman. The article, it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend, published in Vogue. It's a bomb. It's a bomb. I'm not saying it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend in 2025, but I am understanding what women are saying. We don't need you anymore to provide, and we're no longer holding to our end of the deal in that patriarchal dynamic where we pretend that we can't, oh no, we need you, otherwise we can't survive. Please help me, save me. Oh, thank you, you're perfect. No, you're not perfect. Your socks smell. Your socks, they frustrate the shit out of me. When you keep them lying around and I don't feel like cooking your dinner, babe. Why don't you cook me dinner, babe? I know they are all the old paradigms, and I know we've heard these things a gazillion times, but still I see them everywhere. And even talking to lots of people around me, and I'm not only talking about men, women just as much. And so many are still stuck in the old paradigm, thinking that's how it should be and that we are being difficult. But no, you're being confronted with a part of you that desperately needs to grow up. You're all little spoiled boys. And we're not taking it anymore because we're done mothering all of you. Yep, I said it. I can see how some of this sounds a bit, too much, but that's just me today. I'm sure that tomorrow I'm going to be a lot more nuanced, but today is today, and I feel like expressing what I feel and what I believe. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, thoughts, or responses, they're always welcome. Meanwhile, I'll be living my life. And I really hope to have you back next week. Sending you so much love. Here's to loving and liberating, one heart at a time.